What is going on, everybody? My name is Brian and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the future of some Harbor Freight cordless tool brands and also take a look at some new Harbor Freight tools. And we're going to do this for my Tool Talk Weekly thing that I try to do on this channel every week. So if you're new here and you're into tool reviews, projects, tips, tricks, and more, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified whenever I go live or upload a video, because YouTube doesn't always tell you whenever I upload a video. But if you're not new here, you may know that my relationship with Harbor Freight has been kind of on the outs lately. There was a whole lot of stuff that happened last year that I don't really want to get back into, but they've recently changed up the way that they do their in-house stuff, where how they interact with creators like myself and other YouTube channels. And they've assigned a single guy to it. Well, that guy contacted me and we talked and we kind of hashed it all out. Well, he just recently sent me the Hercules Brushless grinder that I just did a video on. If you haven't seen that, I'll try to link that up top. But he also gave me some information about some other cordless tools and what they have coming out as far as brushless tools goes, and also about stuff they don't have coming out that I asked about that I was, interested in, that I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested in. But before we start talking about that, let's just take a look at some of the new stuff that they got online at Harbor Freight. All right, we're not going to go through all these, obviously, but we will just check out a few of them. And to start off with, it's a Hercules 12-pound demo hammer, looks like, okay, for $299.99. There goes a pump, 750 gallons per hour pump, and it's a drill pump, so $9.99. That doesn't seem like that's not too bad, I don't guess. Let's see here. We got the Hercules Max Type Variable Speed Rotary Hammer for $299.99. We got some Bauer accessories, looks like a hole saw, diamond grit hole saw, down through there. Then we got some outdoor lights, and we got a Bauer USB source battery adapter, tool only. So you buy that. If you don't own a battery, you have to slide that over to battery, and it will give you some power from those USB ports if you don't know. Look like we got a new Merlin pencil tire gauge, $379. Icon scraper removal tools. So it looks like some picks and a scraper. $34.99 for that kit. Then we got just a professional scraper. Looks like it comes with some razor blades for $14.99. Okay, there's the Hercules 5-inch brushless angle grinder that I was just talking about that I got. Seems to be a pretty good tool. I'm actually going to do another video on that I'm going to do some testing on it. We're going to test it out and try to see how good it performs. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested and want to know about that grinder. They're in the face mask game, obviously. Okay, they got a drone now with a 480p camera, $49.99. I mean, that's cheap, but a 480p camera, that's not gonna, it might work for, your kid or something, that if they just want to get into it. But as far as like for somebody like me, if I was trying to use a drone, which I have toyed with the idea of getting a drone to add to some of the content that I create, that wouldn't work. I couldn't get anything with a 480p camera. I mean, it would work, but it wouldn't be high quality. And I try to give some high quality videos as far as quality goes. Whether the content's high quality, that's going to be up for you to decide. Next, we got the Chief Professional Air Needle Scaler. So there goes a needler, $79.99. That's not a bad price. The Ingersol one is the one that I typically go to, but it is really, really expensive. And they last the longest that I've seen when it comes to a needler, but I would definitely be interested in giving that a try. I'd also be interested in checking out a lot of other Chief tools. I think that could be one of the more, I don't know if it's underrated, I want to say, but more of the under talked about tool lines at Harbor Freight that could be good. Okay, we got the Pneumatic Air Operated Fluid Extractor, $130. The Bauer Hypermax Lithium Ion Cordless High Volume Power Inflator Deflator Tool only, $24.99. Okay, we got the new Bauer Oscillating Edge Belt Spindle Sander. This is like the Ridgid one that I just purchased, and that's pretty close to the Ridgid price. I think the Ridgid price that I ended up paying was like $249, I want to say, something like that. In that area, I can't remember exactly, but that's, that's top of the line lifetime warranty. This obviously probably only comes with the Harbor Freight 90-day warranty, but if you're a Bauer fan, I don't know if it's any good or not, but that is another option for you if you wanted to stay with the Bauer name. All right, we got some 3-stage microcompressor control automatic battery charger, $19.99. Utility knife, $9.99. Doyle. Okay, We got the Bauer Rotary Polish Sander, $89.99. We're just skimming through. High frequency battery charger, $54.99. Centec. Okay, Hercules Reciprocating Saw, $99.99. Cordless stapler, $44.99. Some Doyle squares, some speed squares, a 12-inch and a 7-inch, $7.99. They're in black. That's pretty cool looking. Pneumatic's front end service tool set, $89.99. Okay, we got some heavy duty tarps. I actually wouldn't mind having a couple of heavy duty tarps myself. Let's see here. Bauer 1 gallon chemical sprayer tool only, $49.99. And we got some new paint accessories. It looks like some roller accessories, rollers and roller accessories. So, you know, that's funny. I was at Harbor Freight and I was actually there buying something else, and I needed to go get some paint accessories. I needed a roller, some brushes, and they didn't even have any rollers, and I was kind of shocked that they didn't, but now we see they are adding that to their arsenal. Okay, these, I did skim through this, and these are probably one of the main things that I'm really excited to see is the new Linkable LED shop lights, because the other shop lights that they had, I didn't like them at all, honestly. I never did get to do a video. I wanted to do a video about them, but I never did get to do one. And they just, with the fact that they wasn't linkable, the color of them, it wasn't what I was looking for. I would be definitely interested in the 5500 Lumen 4-foot linkable LED shop light. And this says you can link up to 8. While as this one, you can link up to 4. So 8, I would imagine there's probably 2 plugs, one on each side, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen them yet, but $39.99 doesn't seem like a bad deal. And 5500 lumens would be plenty enough for my, 3000 would probably be plenty enough, but 5500 would definitely be enough. And they actually have one 10,000 lumens. So if you have a big shop, you can get this one. This one's a Link 4, but it's $69.99. 10,000 lumens, though, is a lot. Okay, here's another one that I would definitely be interested in checking out. The 1/2-inch composite extreme torque air impact wrench. The green and black looks really cool. Earthquake XT. The Earthquake XT 1/2-inch regular air impact is a pretty good air impact, and this is, I would imagine, probably on par with that, but I mean, the green and black looks nice. I would definitely be interested in checking that out. I think it's cool that they're starting to expand on the colors as well with that right there. That's the first one I've seen expanded on the colors, but I'd like to see that with the icon stuff too. Expand out with the green, black, blue, black, kind of like Matco does, and Snap-on it. Everybody, you know, they all do it. So I would definitely like to see that. Next, we got the 1/2-inch, or 1/2-inch, I'm sorry. Next, we got the professional Wobble socket extension set, 7-piece, $39.99. That was on the list of things I'd like to see when I did a video just recently. Some of the icon tools that I would like to see in the direction I would like to see the icon tool name go in, and we'll talk about that when we start talking about the future of some of these cordless tools, because that kind of ties into that video as well. All right, look on down. We got the 3/8 impact socket extension set, 4-piece, $39.99 icon. Looks like, I guess that's a new, I didn't know they didn't have a 5 amp hour, but it's a new 20-volt Hypermax lithium ion 5.0 amp hour high capacity battery for the Bauer tools, $59.99. That's where I think Harbor Freight, I talk about the cordless tools from Harbor Freight, and I talk about how they don't have much, and I probably wouldn't use them in a professional setting, but they are expanding. And the one thing that they do have, I think, over the other guys is the price of their batteries. Really cheap, and they're decent batteries. So that is an edge that they got. All right, going down, icon nut driver. I think I've already looked at these. We'll just scroll a little bit more. Looks like they're coming out with a new drill and impact driver for the Bauer brand. They must be replacing the old one, I guess. Hammer drill, orbital sander Hercules. Here's a Chief medium barrel air hammer. I'd like to try the Chief air hammers out too. See how they compare to my Ingersol. All right, I think that's probably about as far as we need to go. Scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, I've already done them. But looks like some pretty interesting stuff that's new from Harbor Freight. And like I said, the new Hercules angle grinder that I got does seem to be pretty decent. $99.99 was what that was. And I felt like that was a pretty decent price. And as we all know, Harbor Freight and their coupons, they probably will have a coupon for that at some point in the future. But let's talk about, as I promised at the beginning, some of the future of some of these cordless tools. Well, as of right now, I was told that they have the brushless angle grinder that just came out. They have some more coming out in the future. Hercules. I asked them about their Earthquake XT, whether or not they'd be coming out with a brushless impact, 3/8, ½ inch, some other brushless tools for their mechanic side, because Earthquake XT is obviously their mechanic, cordless, and air tools. But I was told no, they're in the future. They have no plans to upgrade any Earthquake XT. He said, as a matter of fact, I think they're moving away from the Earthquake XT and they're focusing on the Hercules. So I asked him about impacts, if they'll be coming out with any brushless impacts. And he said, you know, there's none in the works, but they will eventually. And the way I took it, the name brand will be Hercules. So I don't know if Hercules is going to completely overtake the Earthquake XT. And somebody even said in one of my comments that they discontinued the Earthquake XT angle grinder, and now we see that they come out with the Hercules angle grinder. So maybe they are just doing away with Earthquake XT completely. Like I said before, and they have so many different names that I get confused about where one is. Like I said, Earthquake XT is supposed to be for their mechanic tools, and you got Hercules. Where does the line draw as far as Earthquake XT to Hercules? Is Hercules their top of the line, or is Earthquake XT their top of the line? Is Earthquake XT just for mechanics? Is Hercules more all around, or for carpenters or something like that? I don't know. So I think that maybe they will be simplifying that by just staying with Hercules. Now, I was told that they had a drill and impact driver that was in testing, but he said they didn't meet their standards, so they have to go back to the drawing board. So in the future, there is no drill or impact driver brushless coming out for the Hercules brand. Now, I did see before that they have some Bauer brushless tools coming out. I don't know exactly what brushless tools are coming out for Bauer, but they are supposed to have some Bauer brushless tools coming out. Now, what they do have coming out is the grinder they just released. They have a brushless circular saw coming out in the future. They have a brushless reciprocating saw coming out in the future. And they also have a multi-tool coming out in the future, cordless Hercules, all Hercules. So those are some of the things that are coming out. Now, he said that they have like 6 tools that are going to be coming out, and they're supposed to be doubled in the next 6 months. So we'll see exactly what is coming out. But I think that they are moving in the right direction. And let's talk about, do you really need a brushless tool? I don't think you really need a brushless tool. I mean, if you're working professionally, then obviously the brushless tools do give you the advantage of having a little bit more power and will last a little bit longer, because in a standard brush cordless tool or regular tool, the brush is actually engaged to give you your power, and eventually those brushes wear down, and that's why those tools wear out faster than the brushless version, because it's all electronic on the brushless version that just runs a motor versus brushes wearing down over time. So it will last a little bit longer. If you need the extra power, if you need it to last a little bit longer, then yeah, I mean, you really do probably want to go with the brushless, but you don't necessarily have to. Me personally, I prefer just to get the best. When it comes to certain tools, I want to just have the best possible that I can get for the money. Now, some tools I feel like you can get by with just buying a middle grade, and it'll last just long enough for you to be able to get by. When it comes to ratchets and stuff like that, wrenches, I think you probably do need to get a good set, but like ratchets, sockets, you know, you want to have a good set and a good ratchet, but you don't need to spend like $300 on a set of snap-on sockets, in my opinion. If you want to spend that, then you can spend it, but I think you can get by with something else and do just fine. But I remember the last guy that I talked to before, the new guy that they have running their creator, their advertising for creators or whatever, he said that they were having a hard time, that they didn't realize how hard it was to make cordless tools. And I think that they are, realizing how hard it is. But one thing that I have to give them credit for, they're not trying to rush anything out. For instance, with the drill and impact driver. Yeah, I would have liked to seen them come out with that, but it's better that they don't force it out. They're holding their tools to a high standard. So that's showing a lot that they are actually trying to put out some high quality tools. Now, Harbor Freight, I mean, if you've been into a Harbor Freight, I've been into a few that are pretty decent size, but most of them are really small. And we see that they just keep releasing tools after tools after tools. And then the whole toolbox line they came out with, now they got the US General Service Cart, and they just keep adding tools. Eventually, I'm trying to figure out, eventually, are they going to run out of room in these little stores? Because they're pretty packed as is. And the pace that they're going, I don't know what the future is going to be as far as their stores go. I feel like that eventually they'd probably need to move into a store, probably not as big as like Walmart, but of a bigger size than the stores that they have currently. And in my other video, like I said, I wanted them to come out with the Icon tools for the mechanics, the brushless Icon tools, impacts and stuff, but that's not going to happen apparently. I didn't ask specifically, but the way he was talking was that Hercules is going to be their top of the line, so that's going to be what they're going to go with. And, I can understand that, but I would have liked to seen that the Icon mechanic tool line be rounded out with the brushless tools and also with the specialty tools, whether it be the slide hammers and stuff like that. And me personally, I think it would have been a good idea, but what do I know? They're running all these stores. I'm just sitting here at a desk talking at a camera, so I don't know. I just use the tools, man. And in the future, I mean, let me know down in the comments. Do you think they could ever compete with the big name brand tools, whether it be Snap-on, Milwaukee, whatever, the big name brands? Do you think they could compete with them? I think they can. I mean, I honestly think that having the store versus like Milwaukee, they're just selling it to distributors and that's it. Whereas Harbor Freight, they're actually going out, getting the tools, putting them in their store, they're licensing them themselves, they're running the stores. And I think that that's going to give them a big advantage. They're in the early stages of really trying to make high quality tools, because for a long time, I mean, let's just face it, they just put out junk and they didn't care. It was just a place where you could go for $100 and buy a whole bunch of tools to look like that you had a whole bunch of tools, regardless whether they was going to work or not. But now, the times have changed and they are really going after the professional and advanced DIY market. And I think that eventually they can compete with them. But what do I know? Like I said, I think that they have a few things they need to work on, for me, as far as their warranty and stuff like that goes. I think that the warranty needs to be a little bit different. I don't think that you should have to buy the warranty. There are some advantages to buying the warranty, but I don't think that you should have to buy the warranty. I think that it should just be included with the tool. If they got to bump the price up a little bit, then bump the price up a little bit. But I don't need, obviously I want stuff at a good price, but I don't need it to be the cheapest just junk possible. I want it to be a good quality tool, and I don't mind paying extra for the good quality tool, as I know a lot of you guys don't. But let me know what you guys think down in the bottom. Let me know what you think about the new Hercules brushless tools coming out, and let me know what you think about the Harbor Freight just going with the Hercules as their top of the line cordless tools. And the future of Earthquake XT, I think, is definitely in question as far as the cordless tools go. I don't know. So hopefully we find out some more information about that in the future. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed, man, make sure you subscribe below. Till next time, stay real.